hope you're doing well. I know it's been a long time since I've made a video, but I had been busy, but still not busy enough to not read my manhwas, not catch up with them. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the manhwas that I have been reading recently, and one of which will shock you. The first one is the one that will shock you is the Betrayal of Dignity. If you have seen any of my older content, you would know that I hate trashy male leads. I just cannot stand them. So I usually end up abandoning the reading those manhwas. I never finish them. I just lose interest as soon as I see a red flag in a male lead. But this time I was tempted to read it. I have been watching a lot of reels on Instagram of this particular manhwa, and the reels of some of the recent chapters captivated me, tempted me to read it because of all the misery that is being inflicted upon the male lead. And I think it was very interesting that the female lead tries to run away from him by staging her own death, and he's just miserable without her. And the songs that were used in those reels were so good. You know, sometimes you don't like something, but then you see its music video or like fan made videos and stuff, and you're like, okay, I am a bit interested in it. Those of you who have not read it, the main lead is trash, absolute trash. He just uses the female lead and her family. They're just collateral to his plan of taking over the throne. And the heinous thing he's done to her and her family are unforgivable. What hasn't he done? He had a guy seduce her sister to put the family in an awful place where she has no choice but to marry him to save their family's name and reputation. He kills a woman and frames the female lead for her murder, and then saves her so that she just falls in love with him. Um, there, there are a lot of other things, crazy things that he's done. There he's absolutely obsessed with her. Some of the other things that I hated were the way he took her cane from her. She's disabled. If she cannot walk properly, there's something wrong with one of her legs, and he just snatches her cane from her. Like, who does that to a disabled person? The only horrible thing that he has done right, though, I would say, is when she's refusing to get treatment because she doesn't want it to harm the fetus. If she's pregnant, she doesn't want it to harm the fetus, so she's refusing to take the medicine. If she doesn't take it, she'll die. So he forces her to take it, and she ends up losing the child. But I did like that he had that approach. You can always make a new baby, you know? You can't really replace a person you love or your wife. But interestingly enough, regardless of how horrible the main lead is, the experience that you have reading this mama is not similar to the one you would have if you were to read the abandoned princess or the pregnant with tyrant's child. Those ones just absolutely infuriate you, but this one is like it kind of makes you want to read it more and more. The way he's obsessed with her, the games he plays, they are kind of intriguing and you're hooked. They don't infuriate you as much as some of those mamas that I've mentioned would. I loved it so much. I read it in one sitting just so I could reach that recent chapter where she stages her own death to run away from him. And I feel like some of the scenes are inspired by Wuthering Heights. If any one of you have read that novel, you would know that Heathcliff also digs Catherine's grave and lies there with her dead body, and the same kind of stuff is gonna happen in this Mava in next chapter. I feel like I've ruined the whole Mava for those of you who have not read it, um, because but I think it is bound to happen when you're discussing something, reviewing something. Anyways, these were my thoughts about these Mavas. Let me know down in the comments down below what your thoughts were about this Mava when you were reading it. The other Mava that on the Manta app that I'm reading is The Noble Pirate. It's quite a different Mava. So our heroine is a pirate, and she is betrayed by her friend, her partner, and she dies. She finds herself in the body of a noble woman, and it's very funny. This mama is hilarious. Like, she has a, of course, she's a pirate, so she's used to cursing and stuff. And one of the funniest thing in this mama was when she calls the main lead the son of a biscuit eater. I just thought it was so funny. Um, yeah. If you like funny stuff, read this manga, you'll love it. And anyways, I digress. Back to the story, back to the plot. So she finds herself in the body of a noblewoman, and but the great thing is the main lead recognizes her right away. Main lead was absolutely in love with the pirate. She was his first love, and when he encounters um, her again in a different body, he recognizes her right away. And I thought that was so sweet. The main lead is like the greenest green flag ever. He freaking loves her. He is so devoted um to her. It's just so nice to read. And it's so nice to see such a main lead. Though I would say that she can sometimes be a bit unfair to him and refuses to understand his perspective and point of view. But yeah, otherwise it's a great story. I have not finished it. I think I'm still yet to read last 20 chapters, I believe. The last one that I want to talk about is The Wellness's Blind Date is Too Perfect. This manga released, I would say, maybe over a month ago. It's really nice. It's good. So our female lead finds herself in a novel as a villainess, of course, as and of course this villainess is absolutely obsessed with the crown prince, who is the main lead of that novel, and she's gonna die if she doesn't changes her way. So to improve her reputation and to prove to her family and to the crown prince and every single person that she is no longer obsessed with the crown prince, she decides, no, she doesn't decide to go on a date. She just does stuff to assure people that no, she's not obsessed with him anymore, but no one believes her. So her father sets her up on a date with this duke, who is our main lead. And once they go on a date, that main lead becomes he just pretty much falls in love with her right then and there. And he's one of the best main leads, because he's so considerate, sweet, protective. He's willing to go to any length for her. He's like crazy about her. So that's really nice to see. Now she is not interested in him, and he is absolutely enamored by her, and she has no idea. And she keeps trying to pull away from him. It's a really fun story. There's a lot of comedy in there. All the characters are very likable, of course, except the OG main leads, like the OG female lead and main lead, both are trash, like they usually are in such stories. One thing that I love about the female lead is that she is physically very strong. So, you often see these romantic scenes in dramas and manhwas where the male lead pulls the female lead towards her and puts his hand on the wall, and she's wedged between him and the wall. But here, in this manhwa, it was the opposite. She's the one who does it, and she's so strong. She just smashes him into the wall, and when she puts her hand on the wall, like, it breaks. It was so funny to see. And she when she pushes her brother to sleep, she literally just puts her finger on his head like this, and he just falls on the bed. I think that little bit of something different in there was very funny. Have you read any of these three manhwas? If you have, what are your thoughts on them? And as for me, I would recommend reading all three of them, even if the main lead is trash in the first one. The story, the plot, the characters, everything is very well done, and of course, the art is breathtakingly beautiful. So you will have a lot of fun reading even that one, even if the main lead is trash. And as for the other two, read the second one, The Noble Pirate, if you want to read something funny. And the third one, I would say, I mean, we've read similar stories so many times where the female lead finds herself in the body of villainess. But I mean, this one's still fun. This one's still nice. The main lead's amazing. All the characters amazing. Her family, her father is absolutely obsessed with her. He's, you know, I think you'll like it. That's all I have to say about it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.